Okay, let's see what we've got here. Okay. I think this one looked good, positive. Okay, let's see what we have. We have here a Bell magazine. I think it's a real estate, like a luxe real estate magazine you get from real estates sometimes. Let's see how we go. I think it's not just for real estates. I think you can buy them at newsagents, but I got this one for free. Let's see how we go. I'll have to lubricate the glass so I can slide this easier next time. I didn't lubricate it properly. I wiped off too much of the silicone. It's not really slipping all that well. Anyway, that looks interesting, but it's not quite what we're after. Bell. I'm not a rich person. I don't. Yeah, that looks interesting again, but it's not what I'm after. That looks quite nice. Let's see what this is. Now hopefully that's turned up a treat. Bell, indeed. Anyway, that looks interesting, but it's not what I'm after. That looks quite nice there. Wondering if we could use that section, make it into something. Yeah, I don't know how that's going to look. I'm just going to put it aside just in case we have to make up a new one. So we're going to just maybe cut it in there and then around like that. But I'm really missing, folks, a loved one, and I'm trying to get my work on free-to-air primetime news. I'm trying my best to do what I have to do to get my stuff out there. It's really difficult being as highly competitive as getting your news out there. It's really competitive, folks. I'm competing against the likes of COVID and other small and medium and big ticket news items. I just never seem to get my stuff out there, so I'm just going to keep making these fucked up, funny toner head videos, because basically that's what I am, folks. Now I've moved it too far from the edge. I am basically a toner head, and I'm trying to... I actually think this doesn't work. It's too simple. But basically I'm just trying to get my work out there and recognised. Not just for the news, but for art as well, as an artist, because I've been working for decades on and off using photocopiers, and it's about time that my stuff had its time. And it does get a bit boring when you're not doing what an artist does and gets recognised and goes into art exhibitions. I struggle to. I'm not a rich person, and I don't have friends or colleagues of artists that I can collaborate with and have exhibitions with, and I need to get this stuff on air so I can find where my partner Luigi has gotten to, and that's the most important thing, is to find where Luigi is. And I'm really lonely without him. I really am, folks. It's lonely. Being on your own and dealing with things like COVID, dealing with COVID on your own and feeling really horrible about, because it's mandatory, and I know it's a good thing, but I struggle with breathing with one of those masks on my face. I try my best to wear them without feeling too asphyxiated. So I get lonely and I get worried about shit like that, and it really, there's just so much shit going down in this world, and really there's just no... Now that looks interesting. But basically it does get lonely, and I'm trying my best to put my foot forward. I just got tested for COVID yesterday, and came out with a negative result, so I've helped contributed to the test load that is necessary to keep the COVID in check and to keep the officials hopefully ahead of when the next outbreak would happen. So hopefully I've done the right thing. But I did have a sore throat. If I didn't have a sore throat, I wouldn't have gotten tested. So I had a sore throat, and I figured it was the right thing to do would be to not just let me ignore it. Yeah. But it's difficult dealing with this stuff on your own. Now I'm having troubles with this one, folks. You wouldn't think this one would be a difficult one, because some of the things I do I think are difficult, and I just can't seem to get a really good movement happening. That looks quite nice. Wondering if this could look good if we just enlarge it. But I do get lonely, and the loneliness just adds to the nasty unpleasantness of things in this life. Because loneliness, you're suffering, and you're on your own, and you haven't got someone to talk to all the time. You don't have anyone to care about you. Anyway, that's come up looking quite interesting. Still not quite what I'm after. It's really difficult, this one, folks. I'm still going to keep doing this. But it's really difficult missing a loved one and dealing with the things in this world that are just not nice. I'm trying my best, not just here, but generally speaking. It just gets lonely, folks. I struggle all the time with loneliness, and it just feels like it's never going to end. And I just wish the TV channels would understand that I am lonely and that loneliness is actually a killer. It's a killer, folks. It's like smoking 15 cigarettes a day. And then put on top of that my general feeling of anxiety and depression is really a big problem. And it's really, this could be something. So it's a real difficult thing to deal with, dealing with the anxiety and depression that I have become so accustomed. Although you never become accustomed to being anxious and depressed, the type of anxiety and depression I feel means I can't even get relief by listening to a favourite song or watching a movie. It's the kind of depression that doesn't allow me anything more than to feel the depression, to worry about things, both specific and not so specific. So there's no it's like being desensitized to positive things and while negative things can go through, like COVID-19 and what it's doing. So all these things just go through. I just can't seem to control how I feel. I have to fucking deal with it on my own most of the time. And even when I see someone, I don't feel a sense of connection. There's a glass barrier between me and feeling some kind of relief, whether it be through music or entertainment or through being with someone. I just feel it doesn't happen. I'm actually thinking we might enlarge it a bit bigger, but basically really it's really difficult dealing with the symptoms that I feel, and being alone is, I know Luigi's love can break through that barrier, although I made some progress with it, but at the same time that progress can go backward very quickly. But loneliness really, I just feel lonely without my partner. I'm wondering if this is going to be any good. But basically it's really difficult dealing with this suffering of being apart and dealing with the pain and, wondering if we could make this negative image. I don't know if that's going to work with this particular type of design. But basically it gets very, very lonely without Luigi. And I feel doing this kind of work that I'm doing, I may not feel immediately relieved of the depression. I don't feel relief, but I do feel a sense of progression, that I've done something useful, all despite. So I do find that making demos is a way of me making use of my mood downtime, the depression, the anxiety that I feel. So I use this sort of thing as a way of, because of my future, because there's no use me just staying in bed all day while I'm not at work Me staying in bed all day, doing nothing because I'm feeling down in the dumps, and I might want to sleep it off. So it's very useful. It's very important that I keep my stuff flowing, because I won't get anywhere and find this partner if I allow the symptoms of depression and anxiety type of an illness get to me or stop me from doing what I do here. I have to keep doing it. I just want to. And that's one thing I feel with this anxiety and depression, is the need to keep working. It's a need to keep occupied. I can't sit alone, and music, as I said, music and movies don't get through to me. Sometimes I try to watch YouTube videos, but I still don't feel a real sense of relief. So hopefully I won't have to be tested again for COVID. And the good thing is the people at the COVID clinic at the Royal North Shore Hospital in Sydney did a very good job, and they were very nice people. One of the guys helped me use the app so that I could find out whether I'm positive or negative, and he helped me out. And they were really nice people. The person who took the swab was really nice. So, and now that looks better than I thought. I think now we can call this prolongated demo quits.